First item on here is number 9. Do you want to talk to this one here?
Number 9?
Yes.
Number 9? Only some people get that.
I didn't get that.
But the elevator, do you want me to handle it, or do you want to?
I can talk about it. So we have an elevator situation. It is nearing 30 years old. They typically have a lifespan of like 25 years. We've had some emergency situations in the last year where people have been caught stuck in the elevator. So, you know, I feel like it's a situation, it needs a major upgrade, mostly electrical components. It is getting a new pump. I was reading it today. I was wrong yesterday. But so all the new electrical panel, emergency panels, all the control board downstairs, all that stuff will be upgraded. I reached out to several companies. A lot of companies weren't interested. Gable got back to us quickly. They're willing to do it quickly. So I'm asking that we could pass it through emergency. It's right around $100,000. So it's a lot less than we thought initially.
What's the most important part of that?
The money isn't covered.
Yes.
I'm going to add to that we have had seniors get stuck in there. And you guys are very aware that we have a lot of robust senior programs. They ride that elevator a lot. And to have a senior stuck in there and get nervous is about the last thing we want to have. And it has been stuck more times than I care to admit. And thankfully, the fire department's right here to come and jump into action quickly, but that's not something that we want to mess around with.
So obviously 1, 2, 3.
I would really prefer if you guys push this through.
Okay. Anyone have any questions on that? Seems pretty straightforward.
Number 9?
Number 9?
Do technically preventative maintenance, but
I don't know.
sounds like it's
This is even prevent. This
yeah, it's
is
even preventative.
this is urgent repair. Right?
Yeah.
All
It's
this.
overdue.
Ordinance number 10.
So I proposed this one. I'll give a little backstory on how this came about. But basically, I was called from a neighboring community, and they were inquiring about what we pay for our boards and commissions. At which point I said, well, the only one that gets paid is the BZA, and I think it's $5 a meeting. At that point, they said, well, we pay 43, and we're looking to increase. We were trying to see what you guys were doing. And we've talked about this before at council. I don't know how many of you were here for that, but I feel we're at the point where, you know, people give up that time. It's a little something, especially on the BZA where you came from. I know a lot of the folks will drive to the locations, take a look at things, at least something to cover their gas and buy a cup of coffee. I mean, it's really, and I capped it at $100 in a month, so no more than that. You know, it just gives something to cover a little bit of the cost associated with what they're doing. Granted, I know they volunteer their time. I appreciate that. But I think if other communities are doing it, you know, I try to always be the leader of what we do, and we're a little behind on this one. So I'm asking you guys to consider this.
May I speak on that?
Yes, please do.
Mr. President. This is something I brought up several years ago in my first term. I wondered why they weren't compensated. And there's a legal matter here that Mr. Guidetti and I have discussed. And I ask that we keep this at first read until Mr. Guidetti can get some more information and return with the necessary information we need to move forward on this.
Should we discuss that or just?
Well, I mean, I could just tell you, the question was whether this can be immediately effective or whether it has to wait until a subsequent term for these boards and commission members. The current research that we have, there's not really a case explicitly on point, but I think the conservative view would be to make it prospective in nature, meaning it wouldn't apply to the current terms on any of these boards and commissions. It would apply to future terms. So you can still go ahead and pass it however you would want to. That would be my recommendation, to make it prospective in application. And then I can take a look and see if we can get an opinion from the Ethics Commission for specifically this issue. And then if that comes back that, no, it's actually okay, you can do it in term, then it could kick into place at that time.
Is there any objection to first read and letting that play out, or is there an urgency to do it right away?
It'll probably be sitting for quite a while before you get an opinion back if we are requesting an ethics opinion. Just so you know.
It's up to you.
Well, we can do all 3 reads and we'll either, we pay everyone retroactively for the
We
year.
could retro it if it comes into fruition.
But
yeah.
if this passes, we would like to pay him on a monthly basis
Going forward.
going
Going
forward.
forward, but could we pay them for January, February, March, in
January, so
April?
far only, I don't think there haven't
Parks
been
and
any.
Rec, Parks and Rec has had
Well, we wouldn't go
2,
retroactive.
so you wouldn't go after
No.
retroactive.
And zoning board has not met with it this year. So as of now, there's nothing due to zoning board.
Okay, so we would be going forward.
Forward, we
We
would
pass
just-
this, but we still don't know, so we would owe them, so we still don't know how we would want to pay them.
I could hold off on paying until we find out.
Yeah.
We would hold off until we knew
We
for
would.
sure.
And then we could do retroactive and.
Then we could do
Starting
retroactive
March
to this,
1st.
okay, okay. Then I say let's just go 1, 2, 3 on that.
And then
Get our opinion.
hold off on paying until
Mr.
we
Monaco
hear.
had a.
I was just gonna say, Mr. Ferraro would like it to go back 4 years ago. I'm sure you can vote on it.
Well, oddly enough, the Parks and Rec
That might
Commission
be,
just decided to only go quarterly with their meetings, so. And I knew nothing about this proposal when we voted on that,
Man, I'm
so.
trying to help you.
Unfortunately, those guys just screwed themselves out of a couple bucks,
Well, we don't know that for sure.
possibly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real crapshoot, correct, Mr. Cadetti? That whether we can get away with that or not.
I wouldn't phrase it like
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't
Whether it's legal or not.
Yeah, it's-
Process.
It's
No,
black and white.
I mean, in all seriousness, the question before you is whether you think it's a good idea for board and commission members to get a $50 per meeting, up to 2 meetings, up to $100 per month. Do you agree with that concept? If you do, vote on it, the application will get sorted out after the fact.
Okay,
Makes sense.
I'm okay with all 3.
Me too. Anybody wanted it 1, or are we okay with 3? Okay. Number 11.
Oh, I got every one today.
Just clarification, all 3, assuming it passes, then we wait to hear.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just giving authority for it to happen, and then it's up to the law department and the administration on when and how, right?
The existing assumption will be that it's going to be prospective in nature, would be my recommendation, meaning after the existing terms are expired.
I have a quick
That's
clarifying
gonna be
question.
some
then.
accounting.
If we pass ordinance 10 prior to passing ordinance 11,
Everyone has like 5-year terms,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
yeah.
I thought about that.
would that be prospective?
If you pass ordinance 10 first,
And then ordinance 11,
then technically
it's
you
prospective?
qualify.
Okay, that was my question.
How fortuitous.
Welcome.
You'll be the only one.
Yeah,
When, yeah, I guess, are terms staggered?
They
Yes,
are.
Yes.
okay. Yes. Yeah, for continuity purposes.
Yeah, okay.
And they're 4-year terms for the most part?
Depends.
They vary.
Four to
Or
five,
Parks and
yeah,
Rec
to
is
6.
5.
Zoning's 5, I think.
So you're saying we would have to wait,
It'll be some bookkeeping.
oh, thanks, for a $50 check. Thanks, council.
I think you can handle it. You'll do just fine.
For the next, I don't think
You
I'll be.
can start a whole new spreadsheet.
I have a spreadsheet already you can use, John.
So, Mr. Fosselman, we had a number of folks throw their name in the hat for the open seat that was vacated by Mr. Ferraro. In going through the applications or the resumes, I felt with his business acumen and his education, he was the best fit for that. And he and I spoke on the phone, and it reiterated my feelings from what I read. So I'm proposing him today because I think he'd be a good fit, and he's joined us if you have any questions, but I think you guys have already met.
I will say I agree with everything you've said. I plan on abstaining today due to our professional relationship. Unless we need,
3 is a quorum.
yeah, okay.
So, 1, 2, 3 on that.
I'm glad that you clarified that, so you didn't go out there and just abstain and people be like, oh, man.
That's terrible.
A little engineer scuffle.
Right.
See, work us way like
Yes.
this.
Number 12.
So number 12, I got a call from a business that moved into town. They were talking about the road, North Freeway, and voicing their displeasure with it. Well, I don't travel that road very often. If you have any question about this piece of legislation, I would encourage you guys to go take that road very slowly. and I'll let you know the best way I can describe it is Iraq. Because it's like IEDs went off all over the place. I did not realize, again, how bad it was. To do it in a full depth repair, I believe the number was 1.4 million. This is 200,000 to get us to a point where we can rectify it to where it's drivable. This road's not even drivable in my opinion. So I want to at least do something to get this going. This has to happen ASAP. I'm talking as soon as spring breaks, we have got to do something on this road. And I would encourage you all to go drive it if you don't believe me. It's bad.
Driving in daylight.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's gonna be our method for funding? Where's the funding gonna come from? I mean, I know we have the road program, but this is an extra $200,000 in the road program that,
Last year's road program was a little bit under the
So this should cover
appropriations.
that?
Yep.
and then when we do this, how long is this gonna last, assuming we have the same amount of traffic?
So basically what we're trying to figure out is the business bought the property next door. They're gonna eventually expand the business, Northern Hazard. So they're gonna put another building there, and at that point, we feel we could TIF it, which will support the cost. And then I told the business, you know, look, to put up 1.4 million, our average budget for the road program is around $1 million. I mean, I can't give up the whole road program just for that. So this is a Band-Aid. It'll buy us, according to Joe, 3 to 5 years, which is about the timeline that they say they're going to expand to the new building. Again, the TIF will support the cost of the new road, so.
Well, not only the TIF, but the rest of the employees coming into town.
Yeah, so they're gonna add a lot. They're gonna grow there. They know that's what they want. They're moving from Oakwood
Yeah.
to here. So it's a good business. They'll do well. I just gotta give them a little time, but I have to give them a road they can drive on.
Haven't we done an assessment on
It falls off this
freeways
year.
before?
It's,
And
yeah,
we're-
we have
we're
one
not-
more, we
We
have one
have
more year of
2
payment.
businesses on that road.
And we're
That's a
not gonna be
little,
doing that again?
There's really only 2 businesses, like the mayor said, that we can assess.
Including the new one, or in addition to the new
no,
one?
there's
including
2,
the new.
including the new. So if we're working to encourage business to come here, I mean,
Right.
our responsibility is the roads, and that was back, I think, in the Cookta era where, you know, finances were, I'm not saying we're just spending money frivolously, but
Right.
there was really, really difficulties with everything we did. So we're in a position where I think we can fix this and correct it with the leftover dollars, like Director Vera said, and we've got to do this.
Are we gonna be able to make a better road that is more suitable for the traffic on that kind of road than we have in the past? Because I know this has been a problem since before we got on council, I think,
This
that,
is a
that
mill and fill.
particular road.
We're gonna mill and fill.
But I
This-
mean, so then going forward after that, well, we will do the full, you know,
I can
big
assure
beefy
you,
one. It will be
any
a
road
better,
we do will be full depth repair that'll last at least 20 years.
even
It's-
with trucks from Northern Hazard all day, every day?
Well, the big
they put
business
that-
they have there now is General,
Yeah, we already have a trucking
Yeah,
company
they're-
south of,
Right, and so
Yeah.
that's ruining the roads, so
Yeah.
are we,
The design mix for those roads takes into account what's there.
Okay.
So if you know you're gonna have a bunch of semis going on there, you know, the different type of aggregate that they put in the base and all that plays into what we're talking about. So it'll be conducive for what we'll be traveling on the road.
in general, fortunately, general erectors, they don't actually come any south of their building. They go out the Oakwood way to
Mhm.
Alexander Road because they can't get their equipment in any direction if they come south
right,
and go on to Latrobe. There's no place for them to go.
I'm in favor of it.
Yeah.
It's my path to
Let's
Sam's
do it.
Club.
do you want to talk on the time?
Enjoy Costco.
Pardon?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah, what was this one?
We're gonna do 1, 2, 3 on that.
Okay.
So when you read that, you'll have to say that.
There's one catch to this. In order to make this happen as quickly as I'm saying, we're probably gonna have to have a special meeting the week of March 17th. This is just putting it out to bid. That will be to award the bid. That's how quickly we really need to move on this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just put it on your heads now to say that likely that week, that Thursday, like we normally do, it should be a one piece of legislation, 5 minutes in and out.
Okay.
But we're gonna have to do that. That's how badly this is needed.
that's fine.
Yeah.
We have Parks and Rec, so it has to be on Thursday, we have Parks and Rec. Oh, no, we don't have Parks and
We
Rec.
could do it after. Parks and
We actually won't have Parks and Rec.
Can we do it any earlier?
I'll
We
be
could
out the
Time,
week prior.
time-wise, I
I'll
mean,
be out the
Just
week
say
Jeff
we-
will be gone.
So you don't need me.
I don't mean earlier in the week, I mean earlier time.
No, Joey's opening the bids on the 14th, Friday the 14th. Of March.
I mean the time of day.
Time of
You
day.
can do
Oh.
whatever works for you guys.
The rest of us have to
If you guys
work
wanna do it at
until
noon, I'm
5.
good. Take your lunch, whatever you want, it's fine.
Once that date comes out, we'll play it by ear and see who can make it and who can't. I may be able to.
It's gonna be a quick, you guys don't
Yeah.
need to get dressed up, it'll be either yay or nay.
Okay, are we good on that, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a motion here to accept the donation. Do we need to talk about that at all?
Basically, Omega Painting came into town, they bought the old, Dave's Auto Body. And they're moving into there and they donated a nice metal flag that we're gonna put into the fire department. It's a
Oh,
really nice painted metal American flag, so accepting that if you guys would be so kind, and we'll put it in the fire department.
Cool.
Okay.
I should have brought it down, but a little busy
Show
today.
and tell.
Does anybody have anything else? Because we're at 7:30. I'm just gonna mention there will be a motion for an executive session at the end. I think that's it.
Sounds good.
Yep, thank you.
Good evening and welcome to the February 27th, 2025 council meeting. It is 7:32 PM. Mr. Hoover, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Ferraro.
Here.
Mr. Garbus.
Here.
Mr. Ventura.
Here.
Now I ask Chaplain O'Brien to read us in the invocation.
As we gather here this evening, we do so with a shared commitment to serve our community with wisdom, integrity, and compassion. May we be guided by a spirit of unity and purpose, seeking solutions that uplift every resident and strengthen the bonds that connect us. Let our discussions be filled with respect and understanding, knowing that our decisions shape the future of our city and the well-being of those who call it home. May we approach our responsibilities with open minds and open hearts, setting aside personal differences to work for the common good. May our choices reflect fairness, justice, and a deep sense of responsibility to those we represent. Let this meeting be productive, our conversations be meaningful, and our actions bring positive change. Amen. And now our Mayor, Nick Molnar, will lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance. Of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Appreciate you as always. Okay, approval of minutes.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the Tuesday, February 13th regular council meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments. Let everyone rush at once? None? Okay. Correspondence to the clerk.
Yes, sir. I have 3 items this evening. The first says, Dear Mayor Molnar, I write to express my appreciation for the Macedonia senior citizens activities that are available for us. On a personal level, as a widow who lives alone and has not resided in the Nordonia Hills area for decades, your programs have enriched my life immeasurably. They provide social gatherings, informative programs, healthy exercise, and enriching day trips. As an 84-year-old, I especially love the opportunities that Leah Griffin has arranged for us. Each quarter offers a wide variety of outings that cater to everyone's abilities and tastes. We can travel safely with a compatible and friendly group and continue to enjoy all the wonderful things Northeast Ohio offers. This quarter, I plan to go to a Cavs game, a Guardians game, the Cleveland Ballet, Cleveland Orchestra, and the Great Lakes Theater. I'm the envy of my friends who don't live here. So I did want to thank you and everyone involved with your senior programs for making my golden years so much more enjoyable. Sincerely, Martha Ludlow. And then this is from Lieutenant Glantz to Chief Yakupovich. Said, I would like to formally commend the outstanding performance demonstrated by Dispatcher Alita Fred Antonio, Dispatcher Jessica Becker, Patrolman Nick Zabel, and Sergeant Michael Plez during a critical response to a stolen vehicle involving a 3-month-old infant. On January 24, 2025, dispatchers Fred Antonio and Becker swiftly acted on a BOLO received from the Ohio State Highway Patrol regarding a stolen blue Kia Forte, last seen traveling northbound on 77 with an infant in the back seat. Their prompt and efficient communication played a key role in ensuring a quick response. Patrolman Zabel and Sergeant Plez responded without hesitation, and through their coordinated efforts, they were able to locate and safely stop the vehicle on I-271. Their professionalism and teamwork ensured that the infant was safe and the driver was detained without incident. The Stark County deputy arrived at the scene and the mother was reunited with her child. The suspect was taken into custody by the Stark County deputy, bringing the situation to a successful resolution. The actions of these officers and dispatchers exemplify the high standards of professionalism, teamwork, and dedication to public safety. I strongly recommend that they be recognized for their exceptional response in this case. And that's from Lieutenant Glantz. And finally, Chief Yakupovich, on behalf of Metro SWAT, it is my privilege to extend my heartfelt gratitude and commendation to Lieutenant Christian Costello for his exceptional service and dedication over the past 13 years as a member of our SWAT team. Lieutenant Costello joined Metro SWAT in February 2012, and during his time, he was promoted to team leader and then assistant commander. As Costello transitions from this distinguished role, I want to acknowledge his outstanding contributions to the safety and well-being in the 25 communities that Metro covers in Summit and Portage counties. Lieutenant Costello's unwavering commitment to his duties and his extraordinary courage in the face of danger have not only set a standard of excellence, but have also served as a beacon of leadership for those who have had the honor of working alongside him. Throughout his tenure, his professionalism, tactical expertise, and ability to remain calm under pressure have made a significant and lasting impact on every operation and every colleague fortunate enough to be part of our team. Lieutenant Costello's work ethic and relentless pursuit of excellence have been instrumental in ensuring the safety of the citizens we serve. Countless hours of training, the sacrifices made, and the lives saved are a testament to his skill and dedication. He consistently went above and beyond the call of duty, and his legacy will be felt for years to come. Lieutenant Costello served in multiple roles while a member of the Metro SWAT team. His instructor certificates included firearms, high-threat, close-quarters battle, less lethal and chemical munitions, pepper ball, shoot house, and AR-15 M4 armorer. On behalf of all of us at Metro SWAT, I wish him nothing but success and fulfillment in his future endeavors. While his time on the team may have ended, his legacy will continue to inspire those who follow in his footsteps. Thank you for your service, your dedication, and your sacrifice. Respectfully submitted, Commander Ryan Schultz. And that is all.
Thank you. Big ups for our police department dispatchers and our folks that support our senior activities. That's pretty awesome stuff. Okay, pending a new legislation, ordinance number 9.
Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance number 9, 2025 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An emergency ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a contract with Gable Elevator for the repair and hydraulic modernization of the elevator located in City Hall.
So the useful life of an elevator is approximately 25 years. We're at year 30. We, as I just mentioned with our senior programs, they're in here a lot in our community room. Unfortunately, they've been stuck in that elevator. We've had other people stuck in the elevator, and the last thing we need is people to be stuck in there for an extended period of time, and God forbid, something bad happens. So this isn't just a repair, this is an emergency repair, and I want to be very clear that this is something that we really need to get on very, very quickly. And I want to thank Director Wilson for jumping on this and finding the folks to get that going. So if I haven't missed anything.
No, I think you got it.
Or any further conversation? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
Mayor, I move that we post and pass according to law ordinance number 9, 2025.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance number 9 carries. Ordinance number 10.
Yes, I offered ordinance number 10, 2025 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending various sections of the codified ordinances of the City of Macedonia relative to the compensation for certain boards and commission members.
What brought this one on is I spoke to a neighboring community. They were inquiring about what we pay for our boards and commissions. Current state, we pay $5 a meeting for BZA. What my thought is, the people that give their time for this, it's a little bit of a compensation for gas, maybe grabbing a coffee, whatever the case may be, but it gives a little something to show appreciation for what they're doing and, you know, maybe encourage people in the future to want to be a part of these boards and commissions. So that's my thought process with bringing this forward. And the neighboring community obviously pays for their folks, and they were looking to raise it much more. So I think this is a fair start to that if council would so approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I offer ordinance number 10, 2025, and move it to adopt it and post the same according to law.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 10 carries. Resolution number 11.
Mayor, I move to offer Resolution 11, 2025 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution confirming the appointment by the mayor of Anthony J. Fosselman to the City of Macedonia Board of Zoning and Building Code Appeals.
When Mr. Ferraro came onto city council, it opened up the seat on the BZA. Thank you for your time served there. We appreciate that. I had a number of applicants for it. Mr. Fosselman, who's here with us tonight, resume seemed to be one that was outstanding and more directed towards the field of work that is required here. And I think with his business acumen and his education and all the things he's done in the past, would be a good fit for that board. So that's why I'm presenting him this evening for your approval if you so desire. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move that we pass Resolution 11 and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Resolution 11 carries. Resolution number 12.
I move to offer resolution number 12, 2025 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution authorizing the city engineer to prepare plans, bids, and specifications, and further authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids for North Freeway Drive pavement repairs.
North Freeway is in dire need of repair. It's at the point of probably the worst road I have ever seen in the history of the city. That's why this is coming in as an emergency. Normally, we would do a full depth repair. The reason we're doing this is because we already have our road program in place. The full depth repair was estimated to be at 1.4 million. This is more of a Band-Aid at $200,000 to make it drivable, because at this point, it's not really drivable. And I don't want to leave it looking like that when it's not passable for the businesses that work on that road or for the folks that travel down that road. So that's why this is coming in way of an emergency today. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move to adopt resolution number 12, 2025 and post same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 12 carries. Any other motions or legislative actions?
Yes, I'd like to propose a motion to accept the donation to the city by Omega PNS LLC of a steel American flag valued at $49.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Essentially, Omega Painting moved into the old Dave's Auto Body location. Had the opportunity to go visit them and see their progress in moving into the building, and at that time, they donated this flag to the city, which subsequently we're going to hang into the fire department. It's a very nice red, white, and blue, well, there's no white, but red and blue flag will hang in the fire station. It's going to be really nice. So we thank them for that, and we welcome to our community. All right, next up is the mayor's report. As talked about earlier, our senior programs. So we've had a lot of growth with our senior programs, and I can tell you that we are the leaders, probably in Northeast Ohio, maybe the entire state of Ohio, with what we do for our seniors. The programs that we have are robust. The things that we do for them are amazing, and they love them. It's evident today by the nice lady that sent in the letter thanking them for what we do. So I want to take the time to at least thank the fire department. I want to take thank you to Sherry and Leah who work there and make that all come together. It's a daunting task, and they make it look very easy, but I can tell you sometimes it's difficult. There's a lot of pieces and parts that go into that, and the trips can be difficult at times, but It's a nice thing that we do for our seniors, and I couldn't be more proud of where it's going. Now, there's been growing pains, and we've had some stresses along with that. You guys don't see that. We just get it done, and that's what you love to see. But we make it happen every day, and I'm very, very proud of the services that we provide to our seniors, not just for Macedonia, but the Nordonia communities, because they contribute to that as well for the cost associated with that. So I want to thank them today for that. Next on my list is the service department. We're going to have more progress on the building. There's been a few delays and some changes. I will communicate that out. I hate to be so vague with what we're doing, but we're working through a few kinks at this point, and we're going to get that going very soon. And as soon as I have more information, I'll communicate that to council as well. The entrance signs that we had put in place, that's something we worked on for, my goodness, probably almost 3 or 4 years to get these new entrance signs with the nice brick with the City of Macedonia logo. The City of Macedonia is a dark black print. We've solved that problem. I think they've already corrected some of them to where it's going to be a retro reflective, and you'll be able to actually read where it says City of Macedonia instead of being blacked out. So the folks that saw that and called in, we recognize that as well, and we're going to fix that. It's a pretty easy, simple fix, but we're going to make sure that it, you can tell when you're coming in that it says the City of Macedonia, not just this big brick structure with this round thing in the middle. So that'll be taken care of very soon. I want to wish the Nordonia boys basketball team good luck. They've won a few playoff games here, and they got a big one on Saturday. And I also want to congratulate our lady swimmers for Nordonia. They went pretty far, but unfortunately, no longer. So, but I want to congratulate them, because anytime you win playoffs and you move forward, that's a pretty amazing thing and something to be very proud of. And last but not least, please don't drive distracted. Put down the phones. Drive your car. It's the most important thing. Be safe. Keep those around you safe. Keep the people in your car safe. Like that. Committee reports.
Parks and Rec Commission had its February meeting last Wednesday. We covered the latest going on at the rec center and with the parks. Parks are already planning for summer. They're always 10 or 20 steps ahead of us, which brought up a discussion that we had that was brought up by the chair of the group, Stacy Suji. She proposed that the Parks and Rec Commission change its schedule instead of being monthly, other than 2 months, to quarterly. So that's what we are looking into now. We voted on it and decided that that would be best. The Parks and Rec Commission, when it first started, was the Parks and Rec Department. There was no Parks Director. It was just a board of residents running the parks. In 1985 is when we got our first Parks Director, and they needed a lot more input from the Parks and Rec Commission. Now, with the restructuring and the growth in the Parks Department, there's just no need for the Parks and Rec Department to basically wait on us meeting once a month to tell us for Parks and Rec Commission to tell the department what to do. It works much better when the department tells the commission what is going on and asks us for our input. So the upcoming schedule is to be determined. We should know by the next council meeting. So there will not be a meeting in March for that, and I will let you know. And considering Ordinance 10 that just passed with the $50 per meeting stipend, this change could save the city up to $2,800. So, because it's a 6-member board that is meeting 10 times a year. So, keep an eye out for that if you're interested in attending any of those Parks and Rec Commission meetings. They are open to the public, and we'll let you know the schedule as soon as it comes out. That's all.
Thank you. Any other committee reports? Hearing none, we'll go into department reports, starting with Director Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. We are, first of all, I want to thank council for passing legislation tonight for the elevator. It is extremely important. Out in the real world, we are still busy with potholes, and we're finally getting some Christmas decorations down. The snow's been so bad, but I think it might snow tonight, actually. We are getting into taking culvert replacement requests, so If you have requests for culverts, it's kind of a first come, first served basis. We are really busy, but it is a program, a good program that we offer. Mowing quotes have come in. T-trim landscaping, again, was the lowest and best. They have been doing a great job the last couple of years, so excited to have them back. Also, street sweeping quotes. We'll have Sweeping Corps of America back doing street sweeping for us and taking care of them, making sure our roads are clean on a general basis and as needed basis when something happens. So that's all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Parks and Rec.
So we're awaiting our final drawings and getting bid documents in March for the MacRec renovation. Our staff is currently finishing up the summer program information, and that will be going into our summer Mactivity guide, which will be going out in March. We're also working on some final details for an egg hunt on Friday, April 11th. And on that same date this year, we're going to do an adaptive egg hunt for some special needs folks, and that's going to be held at Sugar Bush this year.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Director Veras.
You want to get it?
Go ahead.
Macedonia resident refund returns are due July 15th unless the resident has a RETA extension. In my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Monaco.
You want to do it? Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to welcome Mr. Fosselman to the BZA. I say this on behalf of my building department. I just want to know, before you leave tonight, I will give you my contact number. You're more than welcome to call myself or any member of my department for any questions or whatever you may have. Again, congratulations. We also have very good news about the sidewalk program. We received 13 bids compared to only 4 last year. The price that we allocated for that was $450,000. The best bid we had was at $370,000, so we are $80,000 under bid. Last year price was $1,175 for a 4-inch concrete slab. And 18 inches for the 6-inch, and $18 for 6-inch. This year, $10 for the 4-inch, which is $1.75 less, and $13.25 for 6-inch. So we're in the process now of find out who's the best and lowest bidder, and we're going to pick a contractor. Then the next would be to send a revised letter out with these new figures. And I know that the residents are going to be very happy because they're going to be saving quite a bit of money. So that will be the end of my report, unless you have any questions.
Thank you. Director Smith.
Nothing for this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. Chief Ripley.
Thank you, Mayor. Continuing on the senior center, just some statistics, and it really shows the utilization of the senior center more than anything. And I'll get to the most important part at the end. But we serve approximately 6,000 seniors a year. There's activities down there Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays for meals, a couple Thursdays a month, Tuesdays. They do Tai Chi, I know, on Thursdays. We delivered 17,000 meals to Nordonia Hills seniors last year, and the weekly trips. And I will tell you, the most important part of the senior center is not these numbers. It's the fact that, along with the letter that was read tonight, just last week, 2 seniors stopped in tears, hugging Leah and Sherry for the emotional support they receive at the senior center, helping them with things that their family's not around to help them with. And both of them, I witnessed it in my office, called the senior center a lifesaver. And I have no numbers or stats for that, but that is probably the biggest value of that senior center. And it means the world to those seniors. So it's kudos to us for supporting it and council for giving us the money. Even though Mr. Veras' report is so simple, he manages our money very well so we can do things like this. On the fire department side of things, we are up 12.2%. Excuse me, our call volume so far this year. So it's been extremely busy, so. And end of report.
Thank you. Chief Yakupovich.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to take the time to thank the men and women of the Macedonia Police Department. The correspondence we heard tonight is, you know, it's nice to be recognized, and it's just a sample of what everybody does every day. You know, they're all very dedicated, and they work hard every day, and I appreciate it. End of report.
Thank you. Director Goodetti.
No report, Mayor.
Any unfinished business?
Mayor?
No. Any unfinished business? Any new business?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to enter into an executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1, and to discuss pending or imminent litigation pursuant to Revised Code 121.22 G3.
Second.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Brandt?
Yes?
Mr. Ferraro?
Yes.
Mr. Garvis?
Yes.
Mr. Ventura?
Yes.
Okay, we are going into executive session. Are we good back there?
Wait till we see it on the screen.
Are we good back there, Kyle? Yeah. Okay. Let's call it back into session, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to call this meeting from February 27th, 2025 back into session. It is 8:35 PM.
Picking up in new business? Or staying in new business?
We're in new business, yes, sir.
Mayor, I would like to bring a topic to discussion among council. It's been fairly obvious to me that Councilor Finley has missed a substantial number of meetings, both this calendar year as well as last calendar year. Going back into the beginning of our first two terms, because Councilor Finley and I were both elected at the same time, he's attended council meetings roughly 78% of the time that he's been here, and comparably I've made 96% of those. My count is 17 missed council meetings, and I believe it would be appropriate for council to have a discussion about Mr. Finley's absences at council.
Last year, council did call these absences and our concern over them to Mr. Finley's attention. This happened in November of 2024. And he assured all of us there at the time, Mr. Ferraro wasn't on council at the time, he assured all of us that he did not like missing that many meetings. It was because of work. He said there were situations out of his control, and he gave us his heartfelt promise that he would not be missing as many meetings anymore. He did actually, I think, miss the meeting after that. He knew that was going to happen. And then coming into this February, he just missed the previous meeting this year. So he made it to 2, he missed 3. And last week, Mr. Finley informed us that he has taken on a role for a nonprofit and will be using his engineering or his architecture skills out of the country to serve disadvantaged area, which is a noble cause, but he also is choosing to miss 2 further council meetings for this venture. I feel, while it is noble to do this sort of volunteer work, Mr. Finley's main service should be to the people of Macedonia, and I don't feel that it's right that he chose to not only break the promise of not missing meetings, but also just the fact that he won't be here to serve the people of Macedonia again. So I find that to be, I guess, distasteful conduct, if nothing else.
In light of all of that, thank you, Ms. Brandt and Mr. Garvis. I've noticed in the count of his absence and the way the rules are in the charter, we should be considering everything that's in the same term. And this is the worst term so far. And he's not even halfway through. He's only a year and a quarter, not even a full year and a quarter into this term. And these were the majority of the meetings have been missed. So I think this is a pattern of disruption that we need to address, and address it now.
I think it's not fair to the people of Macedonia. Council was trimmed down from 6 to 5 some years ago, so that we have a easier voting. So we have the odd number of voting, so we didn't have the burden of having to pay for that 6th person, and now it's really rough serving as a 4-person council. The city's too big for that. It's just not fair to the residents of Macedonia.
I have a motion that I'm ready to make unless there's anyone else that had any further comments they wanted to share. In that case, I would like to make a motion, and I want to preface this by saying that this is the last thing I've ever wanted to do as an elected member of council, but I'm going to make a motion to censure Councilman Finley for his continued absences.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Brandt?
Yes?
Mr. Ferraro?
Yes.
Mr. Garvis?
Yes.
Mr. Ventura?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I think the next thing that we should discuss prior to adjourning for the night is if there's any penalties or something along those matters that we would like to impose as a result of the censure consistent with the charter. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
I, under reading this first censure, I would go for all four in my opinion. I make a motion for all four. The suspension for one meeting, it doesn't come anyway. Loss of pay for up to a month, the loss of committee chairmanship or membership, and loss of any seniority that he might have in case that subject would come up.
So your motion is all four items that are permitted in the first strike?
That's correct.
I would second that.
Mr. Gaddetti, suspension for a meeting, what does that entail? Is that,
So whenever a member is suspended for a meeting, they don't lose their seat on council. And this was discussed at charter review when this provision was enacted, or through which this provision was enacted. The council member that's suspended can show up and they can sit down in their council seat, but they cannot deliberate or comment whatsoever during the meeting, and they are also prohibited from voting during the meeting. So they can physically be present, but cannot otherwise participate.
Okay, can I?
but that would not apply to a meeting. So if we were to suspend them from one meeting and they would not appear at a meeting, would we then be able to suspend them at the next meeting that they did appear?
You could select the meeting, there's nothing.
Could we pick that meeting as part of the motion?
You could if you'd like.
You could amend your motion to be,
And Mr. Ventura, are you suggesting that we would be forcing Mr. Finley to miss a further meeting, or are you suggesting that we suspend him for a meeting that he wasn't even here?
No, a further meeting, because this is something I want to see. If you truly are intent on serving your public and your residents, just because we suspend you, you still have the opportunity to be present. If he chooses not to be present, now we know what his true intentions are even further than we've anticipated and viewed up to this point.
so it's your desire to suspend for the first meeting in March? I'm sorry, the first meeting in April?
Correct.
Because the councilman's already indicated he won't be here for the month of
Correct.
April.
Month of March.
So do you want
I keep
to move to amend your motion to implement the suspension, the suspension sanction to a suspension of the first meeting in March?
Nope, not March.
No, April.
Or
That's my
April.
fault.
Yes, I move to amend my motion to suspend Councilman Finley for the first meeting in April,
In addition to all the others?
in addition to the rest of the legal penalties.
I would second that.
Roll call?
Ms. Brandt?
Yes?
Mr. Ferraro?
Yes.
Mr. Garvis?
Yes.
Mr. Ventura?
Yes.
Okay, so the motion to amend is complete, so you need the other motion now to enact?
Yes, motion to pass.
I request a motion to pass as stated.
Second?
Roll call?
Ms. Brandt?
Yes?
Mr. Ferraro?
Yes.
Mr. Garvis?
Yes.
Mr. Ventura?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Is there any other new business? Hearing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.